of where we live is
BBC Radio Gloucestershire.
At 7 o'clock with the latest BBC News for Gloucestershire, I'm Mark Smith. People living in a new build estate between Gloucester and Stroud say they've been let down by their developer. There are currently 850 homes in the Hunts Grove development. Once fully completed, there'll be more than 1,700. Residents say despite work starting more than a decade ago, very little of the promised infrastructure is being built. Mark Ryder is chair of Hunts Grove Parish Council.
We're lodged here between the A38, the motorway and the railway. We're very isolated, so we need those facilities in Hunts Grove so that kids, so that adults have got recreation, they've got places to play and things to do.
We have approached Crest Nicholson for a statement. The company says that it's aware of concerns raised by residents and is putting in steps to address them.
Good, isn't it? Now then, 7:25. Now, Hunts Grove, let me tell you about Hunts Grove. For those who live elsewhere in the county, and just want to update you with where we are with this. Hunts Grove, it's a new housing development right on the edge of Gloucester, but actually part of the Stroud District Council. The new build suburb is close to the villages of Hardwick and Haresfield, started in 2010, a long time ago now, seems to have been with us for ages. The estate is still not complete. Eventually there will be 1,750 homes there. But residents who are already there say promises haven't been met by their developer and are still waiting for community facilities. Children's safety has also become a bit of a concern as construction traffic uses the roads right outside the local primary school. Our reporter Francesca Osborne has been to meet some of those residents.
Yeah, construction traffic is one of the issues we've been raising for quite some time.
Residents at Hunts Grove said they bought into a vision, a purpose-built village with a real sense of community, full of facilities, including allotments, sport pitches and a community hall. But they now say they feel let down by developers.
More people are moving in every week. Unfortunately, the planned infrastructure and open spaces and things like the community building and sports pitches and allotments, none of that has been delivered. So residents have their lovely houses, they've got nothing else to do. We're lodged here between the A38, the motorway and the railway. We're very isolated, so we need those facilities in Hunts Grove so that kids, so that adults have got recreation, they've got places to play and things to do.
That's Mark Ryder. He's chair of Hunts Grove Parish Council, and he's not the only one who's cross. The development, which sits between Gloucester and Stroud, was first given the go-ahead back in 2008. Construction work is still underway, but 850 homes have now been built. By the time work is finished, there'll be 1,750. But people living here say apart from their homes, there's not much else. And despite paying an annual management fee of nearly £200, the verges are full of foot-high weeds, there's cracked pavements and litter, and construction work at all hours of the day.
As the development has continued to grow, there have been more issues. There has been a terrible lack of maintenance on the development. Weeds, gutters were dirty. It was just absolutely horrendous to look at. And this progressively got worse over the last 6 months, to be honest. And then we've got to a point where there are lorries coming through the community, driving past the school. It's just not safe with the children.
We love the area, but all the broken promises from what they told me when I was going to buy a property from them, you can see now that's 2.5 years later and we're still waiting for things to be done. It's just ongoing. They just don't care.
We were sold a dream, not quite the dream I was sold. Certainly where I live on the development, I get a lot of trouble from the traffic, construction traffic in particular, that is using the road in front of my house, and that's actually against the current planning regulations.
Whilst we're really appreciative there's nice houses and some greenery, it takes a little bit more than that to live here. So I have to walk in excess of like 3.5 miles there and back to the nearest shop. The noise relating to the construction is horrific. It starts as early as 7.
And it's not just cosmetic issues. Residents say an accident is waiting to happen outside the school as it's dangerous as huge lorries thunder past.
Oh, construction traffic is horrific down here. My child goes to this school and out here, prime example this morning, a massive flatbed lorry drove past right at the time of school opening. Kids crossing the road, we don't have a zebra crossing. It's just horrific. It's so dangerous.
Really concerned. My kids are young. They're kind of fairly savvy, I suppose, but they're kids, and that they'll the thought of them inadvertently stepping out into the roadway and an oncoming articulated lorry full of God knows what careering past is really frightening.
Voices of Hunts Grove. So of course we've approached Crest Nicholson for a statement. The company says it is aware of concerns raised by residents and is putting in steps to address them. Now, in the last week, it said it's had productive conversations with the local planning authority in regards to the delivery of Huntsgrove, and it's due to share a plan of proposed action for their approval later this week. So what does later this week mean? I'm presuming close to play Friday, is it? So our friends that we've met in Huntsgrove yesterday, we will stay in touch with you and with Crest Nicholson to make sure that something definitive is said by the end of the week. And if it isn't, then we will chase it up. And if they do say something, we want to know what they're saying and whether that is acceptable to you. Okay. 7:29, this is Rebecca.
The A41